What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is November 7th, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. I have my haul here of 38 with 28 different titles. Threw up my Midtown order from last week as well. I have read through this stack. Starting off on the DC side, we have Green Lantern. So this starts off the new Grant Morrison run. I really enjoy this one. So Green Lantern was the only DC superhero that I ever really liked. You know, when I started off in comics, I was completely on the Marvel side, reading through X-Men and, you know, kind of branched out on the Marvel side. The only DC character that ever interested me was Green Lantern, really from Super Friends cartoon show. You know, I liked how his power could do anything. So, you know, from there I kind of went into Justice League because, you know, Green Lantern was there as well. And, you know, the DC world kind of spawned out from there, you know. So I'm all over, you know, all publishers at this point in time. This is really, you know, was like 12 to, 15. So this Green Lantern run, man, really enjoyed this one. So this is like a brand new take. You know, I guess you could say this is like another universe. But, you know, what's happened in the past, you know, really hasn't happened. A little bit of the mythos, you know, the reader has to know just a little bit of, you know, what the Green Lantern powers are, you know, what the mythos is a little bit. But this is like a complete new take, you know, in its entirety. What I really enjoy is the density, you know, this cosmic density that both on the art side as well as the storytelling that Grant Morrison is starting, you know, to tell here. This very first issue, you know, more to come, but you know, just the density that's here, man, I thought was pretty spectacular in my opinion. So again, brand new take of Green Lantern. If you like Green Lantern, I say give this #1 a shot. So I was able to pick up a few more. This was the midnight release edition and the cover B, which I thought was pretty detailed. Really liked this one. Man, I really felt, you know, reading through the story, this should be #2, you know, if you read through this one storyline. So yeah, Green Lantern, check it out. Justice League Drowned Earth. Really enjoyed this one crossover so far. So I picked up the Matina Aquaman movie cover. This is cover B. Man, I thought this was spectacular. I don't think this actually sold out yet on Midtown, but man, I really enjoy this one cover. So yeah, I picked up 2 of them. Overall, Drowned Earth, man, love it. So they're fighting, you know, let's say aliens from another faraway galaxy coming in to invade Earth and, you know, trying to drown Earth with, let's say, alien water that turns you into mutant sea monsters, you know, so to speak. So it has like a little bit of a zombie feel to the storyline as well. So of course our superheroes trying to stop it. Some of them have been infected at this point in time. What I did not like about this one title was the artwork. Man, the artwork was, you know, kind of all over the place here, in my opinion. Man, in and out, man, just really not the best, in my opinion. You know, pretty good storyline, but the artwork just wasn't there for me on this one issue. But yeah, really enjoy that storyline. I think there's 6 parts to this total, but yeah, enjoy it so far. Picked up a few cover grabs. This was one of them. This is Deathstroke #37, another Matina cover. I think Matina had 4 different covers this week, man. Matina by far is one of my top cover artists right now, man, by far, one of the top 2. So yeah, this was Two-Face on the cover, man. Spectacular. Sideways Annual #1. So this annual really folded into the current story arc that was going on, folding in like another multiverse type of Superman. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, when you read through, it's really, you really feel that it's Kal-El, you know, Superboy. But, you know, really not. So there's like a little like nod to Superboy that we know. However, this is like another like multiverse type of Superman, you know, in its entirety. So, you know, all Superman strength, you know, none of the weaknesses. So yeah, pretty cool. Enjoyed this one, you know, one-off storyline, but it kind of did fold into from the last story arc. So yeah, enjoy Sideways overall. I hear they're canceling it, I think is what I heard. But yeah, enjoy the superhero. All right. Adventures of Super Sons, man. Love this title. Love Damian Wayne and Jonathan Kent, man. Love those two. The banter between the two, you know, as I've said in previous videos. This current story arc, man, love it. The Junior League of Doom, great storyline, great action, pretty good comedy all the way through. Again, you know, their banter, the dialogue between the two boys, always hilarious. Superboy still afflicted with that artificial kryptonite, divided him in two. Pretty cool storyline. Really enjoy it. So yeah, Adventures of Super Sons. Moving on to Marvel, found one copy of the 4th printing of Venom #3. So if you can find this one, pick it up. I know the print run is very, very low. So I think that these, you know, the higher the print run, the more rare it's going to be, the higher the value, in my opinion. Just kind of looking at the market and, you know, things being said. So yeah, Venom #3, 4th printing. Another cover grab. I kind of thumbed through this one a little bit. Iceman #3. I'm not following the little miniseries here, but I grew up watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, you know, as a child. Man, loved it. You know, pretty much my most favorite, like, superhero cartoon that there was, in my opinion. You know, really got me into these two. She got me into the X-Men later on. But yeah, so this is kind of just a little group appearance in this one issue, as, you know, just kind of thumbing through it. But yeah, picked up just for the cover. X23, man, love Laura Kinney and Honey Badger, as I've, you know, said in many videos in the past. Man, absolutely love her. So this was a one-off storyline that's in between story arcs. You know, kind of a throwaway, means nothing, but man, a lot of fun. You know, great dialogue between the two. You know, it's hard to explain, you know, the comedy and, you know, the relationship that these two have. You really have to read through it for yourself, but, you know, once you read through, you're completely hooked, man. Honey Badger completely does it for me. Man, love the humor. X23 #6. XMen Read. I believe this to be my most favorite X title out there right now. So, issue #10, Cassandra, and you know, think about Comic Vantage, who kind of complained a little bit about Cassandra's story arc kind of like dragging out. So this is issue #10. I think issue #1 started with Cassandra. But you know, great battle scene, you know, in my opinion, nonetheless. So again, Honey Badger, one of the you know, main you know, she kind of figures out how to kind of defeat Cassandra in a sense. But yeah, one of my main characters that I love. I mean, I love that both Laura Kinney and Honey Badger are both teammates in in X-Men Read. But yeah, enjoy this one X title the absolute most right now. My favorite. So yeah, X-Men Read #10. Champions 26. So this is kind of like a Elseworld type of storyline that's kind of going on right now. They went through a portal, and on the other side was Weird World. And I forgot which title, but like Weird World kind of got screwed up in, you know, some way, somehow. So anyways, heroes went over there, they lost their memory. Only Ironheart is the only one who's able to remember like where they came from, who everyone was. But yeah, pretty cool. You know, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, you know, this is like a perfect, you know, multiverse, Elseworld type of storyline. So yeah, Champions #26. Infinity Wars #5. So this is where Loki, you know, and he was, what was he, the Necromancer God, I think is what he was. Loki, the Necromancer God. So this is where he kind of puts his team together, man. Enjoy the dialogue, great action, great storyline overall, in my opinion. All the amalgam stuff kind of going on the side, you know, I could kind of do without that stuff, but the main storyline here, man, great storyline. Really want to read this one, you know, through trade, just kind of all together, you know, when it finally comes out. But yeah, some of the stones are kind of taken, you know, by the team here. I won't show you the battle, but man, great battle against Requiem. You know, the stones are kind of taken from her one by one. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. If you're not into the Infinity Wars, man, I highly suggest for you to check it out. Spider Geddon. This is one title where I was going to skip, my plan was to skip it up front, but reading through some of the preludes and some of the countdown stuff that was out there, man, it hooked me in there, man, pretty good. So this mecha, was it Leopardon? I think, or Leopardon, maybe that's how you pronounce it, but man, I grew up with mechs, Power Rangers, Voltron, Robotech, Shogun Warriors, man, you name it. So, by far, man, I love this character, man. Love that stuff. So, yeah, great action. Peter Parker, his humor, spread out across the multi-Spider-Mans that are out there, man. Great stuff, dude. So, again, I was going to skip this title. Man, fell in love with it. Check it out. Spider-Geddon number 3. Star Wars. So this is number 56. This is right in between, I believe this is starting, brand new story arc. This one's kind of a little bit slower pace, kind of setting up this new storyline here. Not too much action, quite a bit of dialogue kind of going on this one issue. But man, I can tell, great setup overall. So yeah, really enjoy Star Wars. If you are into the movies, I highly suggest for you to check out these in trade. So yeah, Star Wars number 56. Staying on that Star Wars run, we have Han Solo Imperial Cadet, and I also picked up, this was the movie cover variant. I think this is going for maybe like $10 on Midtown, I think. But both my LCS allow us to pick these up for cover price, so you just got to kind of get there early, first come, first serve. So Han Solo, this one issue, or this one title here, if you enjoy the movie, the portion where he was kind of abducted into the Imperial Academy, if you enjoy that portion, this one kind of expands on that one segment of the movie. They kind of recreate some of the movie here of how he got to the Imperial Academy. The very beginning, it's everything we saw in the movie, but at the very end, he kind of starts expanding on boot camp. Very, very cool stuff, kept the essence of the movie that we saw. If you enjoy the movie, check this one out. Han Solo Imperial Cadet, number 1. Typhoid Fever, X-Men. This is one I was going to pass, kind of when I heard that it was, kind of the XMen Read team that was chosen to be in this one title. And, from there, kind of thumbed through, I thought the artwork on the first couple pages was pretty good, so I went ahead and picked it up. After reading through it, so the artwork kind of changes throughout this one issue, and, it goes from good artwork to, like, mediocre to artwork that's just kind of, subpar, in my opinion, in some areas. Storyline, kind of passable, from my perspective. Cool that they chose the X-Men Read team, my favorite team that's out there right now, but, the storyline just did not do it for me. I am definitely not going to pick up number 2. I feel this is passable. If you enjoy Typhoid Fever, check this one out, but, my opinion, no. So yeah, number 1, passable from my perspective. All right, Marvel Knights number 1, Donny Cates. This one was off my radar. I was not planning on, I don't think that I recall reading about this or in previews at all. Able to pick up the connecting cover. I thought this artwork was great. So this is Kari Andrews, and I'm not sure if I pronounced the first name correctly or not. But man, great artwork. I'm gonna try to pick up the rest of, this is 1 of 6, I think. Yeah, 1 of 6. And yeah, it's hard to pick up all of them. But yeah, this is number 1 to start it off. Also able to pick up, this is Jay Lee. This is a incentive variant that came out today. Again, able to pick up for a cover price, but overall, just an okay cover from my perspective. So yeah, so Marvel Knights, it looks like this original one was done by Donny Cates. It may change writers from issue to issue is what it looked like at the very end. So Donny Cates, completely on fire. That's why I picked up a couple of these covers here. However, not really into Daredevil, not really into Punisher. Man, this was a great storyline in my opinion. And again, I don't know if Donny Cates is going to continue this issue number 2 on. It didn't look like it, you know, to me from the very end of the previews of this one issue here. But man, his humor in here, man, love it, dude. I really thoroughly enjoyed Donny Cates' writing here, you know. So yeah, this was one that was off my radar. I was not looking, I didn't even know about this one, but man, really happy I picked it up, you know. Enjoy Donny Cates' writing, the humor that's here, the banter between Daredevil and Punisher, man, I loved it. So yeah, if this is off your radar too, I suggest for you to pick it up. Find any of the connecting variants, highly suggest to pick that up because those all sold out. So yeah, Marvel Knights #1. All right, another issue that sold out. So this is Weapon X #25. I believe this one sold out just due to the fire cover. You know, this was just like a hot cover due to the fire. So yeah, I picked up 3 copies of this one in total. I think I may have one more coming from Midtown if I really can't recall that one correctly. So yeah, overall storyline, you know, great pacing, you know, super action all the way through. Like all the Weapon X series, you know, pretty much, you know, almost every issue all the way through. Not too much storyline, you know, kind of going on, you know, not deep storyline, but man, you know, slash 'em action all the way through, including this one here. So this one kind of starts talking about how Strife was able to live, you know, throughout all this torment and torture he was able to take, and getting into hell. So yeah, that's why this cover is here. They don't actually get there yet, but the storyline is kind of starting to talk about some characters down there. So yeah, Weapon X #25. If you could find this one, pick it up because this was a hot cover for a sellout. Moving on to Image, picked up, this is Spawn #291. Another Matina cover, Virgin cover, man, love it. So yeah. Leviathan. This is #3, so this is kind of like that zany type of storyline, you know, zany type of humor. The artwork definitely follows the storyline in my opinion. Really enjoy this one. So, you know, a lot of dark type of things going on here, even though it's a, you know, fanciful type of zany type of artwork. But yeah, really enjoy this one title so far. This is #3. So yeah, if that interests you, check this one out, Leviathan. Crowded #4. Very cool concept. This one was optioned for a movie, so definitely try to find that #1, both cover A and B if you can. So this one here, this culture, this alternate universe type of culture, you know, completely, the society completely accepts GoFundMe type of hit list. And once you become someone who's on a hit list, you know, it's completely legal for you to go kill that person and go, you know, collect the ransom, or I'm sorry, collect the reward from that public hit list that's out there. So yeah, pretty cool concept. You know, this was again option for a movie. This has 2 sides of it. You know, the killer's trying to kill the person on the hit list, as well as people that you hire to try to protect you. So pretty cool storyline overall. You know, enjoy the comedy that's in the background. Crowded #4. Errand Boys #2. So overall, pretty cool storyline concept. You have the main hero who's kind of like a Han Solo type of cargo ship type of mover. And along the way, he finds out that he has a half-brother. You know, his father hooked up with another alien female. His half-brother looks completely different from him. He's kind of showing him the ropes. So yeah, these characters, the artwork I feel goes completely along with the storyline. His artwork maybe like a 3.75 out of 5. But this zany type of artwork, you know, really demonstrates the zany type of adventures that these two kind of get into. So yeah, pretty good humor, you know, zany type of space action kind of going on. Enjoy it. Errand Boys #2. 7 to Eternity #12, man. So I love this artwork by Jerome Opeña, man. Knocks this fantasy sci-fi type of storyline out of the park, man. So his artwork here, you know, I would give this one like a 4.75, man. Dare I say 5 out of 5, man, especially for this type of genre. So overall, man, love this, you know, Lord of the Rings-esque type of storyline. A little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of magic involved, and cool stuff. Great fight scene here that, you know, occurs almost throughout this entire one issue up in the clouds. Love it. 7 to Eternity, number 12. Farmhand, number 5. Yet another title that's been optioned for a movie. So if you can find that number 1, definitely pick it up. So overall, this one title is really, you know, so the humans start to harvest body parts by utilizing plants and, you know, some, we'll say like a secret, you know, kind of going on in the background. It's a little bit more background to the partner of the scientists who created these, you know, this art, you know, of growing body parts. And, you know, the history of how she starts getting involved in the plants and, you know, maybe why she went dark. So yeah, pretty cool storyline overall. You know, I think this would do very well on screen, you know, with a lot of CGI involved. But yeah, Farmhand, number 5. Outer Darkness. So this is a number 1 from Image from this week. Pretty cool. So what you have, this is kind of a sci-fi-esque type of feel to it. So it's a, you know, a space ship type of crew. Let me kind of get past this. So spaceship crew, you know, kind of stereotypical captain. You have his shipmates. They're aliens, but instead of like a sci-fi in deep space, this is kind of like they're a spaceship kind of going through hell, in my opinion. So you have a lot of demons, you have a lot of, you know, a lot of dark things kind of out in this outer space here that they travel through, but it's almost like a space story, you know, as they travel through hell. So very, very interesting. You know, if that piques your interest, I would say check this number 1 out. I am actually going to skip on number 2 to tell you the truth. If I hear the story is good, I may pick it up and trade, but I don't know, just kind of on the fence, mediocre to me overall. Storyline, you know, maybe a 3 out of 5. Outer Darkness. Got one from Boom Studio. This is The Empty Man. I picked up just one more just to kind of throw in the spec box. Cullen Bunn, man, I love his horror writing. So this overall is a virus type of storyline. However, a little bit of a twist, this virus may have a supernatural feel to it. So this is kind of the society, the virus has been around for a while now, maybe like a year or so. I don't think the timeline has been exposed, but you know, society's still there. They're still filming, broadcasting the news. So, you know, all the city works is all still going. The governments are still here, but the society is starting to crumble. You have a lot of cults kind of going on, worshiping the virus. There's a lot of killing. So the virus goes through multiple stages. You kind of become you know, a little bit of despair. You kind of become a little bit of you know, not wanting to live in a sense. Then you go towards violence, and then once you go towards violence, you start to want to kill either other people or yourself. And the government has not figured out a solution yet, but yeah, a virus type of storyline. I love virus storylines. So yeah, this one's definitely in my wheelhouse. The Empty Man by Cullen Bunn, number 1. James Bond 007. So this is yet like another take to James Bond. This is by Greg Pak. I have enjoyed, you know, numerous titles by Greg Pak so far. This one I did enjoy. This is kind of like, again, like a modern take of the more traditional, you know, super spy, you know, the Ethan Hunt, you know, type of, you know, action to where, you know, it's not realistic. There's no way this guy would, you know, jump from like a plane onto like another plane and hold on, you know, Mission Impossible, you know, kind of unrealistic type of action. This is more realistic. Really, really loved it. The only thing I did not enjoy was, you know, James Bond always kind of was like blonde hair, you know, to me. The way they kind of drew him, I really felt like I was watching Bruce Wayne, you know, kind of go through like a, I don't know, just like a little side mission. You know, he's not Batman. But I really felt like I was watching Bruce Wayne, the way that the artist kind of drew James Bond here. So my only, you know, negative point about this, but really enjoy that storyline. I think I'm going to actually pick up number 2 on and, you know, kind of go from there. But yeah, James Bond, number 1. Road of the Dead. This is by IDW. This is #1 that came out. This is actually a prelude to Highway to Hell, which apparently was a movie that I've never heard about, ever. I really enjoyed this one prelude. So I believe after I finished this miniseries, and I think this was a 5-parter, I believe, please correct me down below. But if so, I think I'm gonna, read through the 5-parter and then go watch the movie because, so I love zombies. I by no means am I burned out on the zombie genre. This is yet another zombie type of storyline. The humor and the sarcasm that was kind of sprinkled throughout here, man, loved it. So yeah, if the movie is just like this, I'm definitely going to check out that movie. But yeah, this #1, so this sold out, both cover A and cover B sold out for this one title. A little bit surprised with that, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I definitely will be picking up, will be subscribing to this one and picking up #2. Last one for y'all from Vault Comics, Fearscape. This is #2. So when #1 came out, that was by far my most absolute read of the week. #2 did not disappoint by any means, whatsoever. So what you have is like this other world, this Fearscape, and this Fearscape lives on human dreams. They kind of explain in here that the humans kind of use this as a battleground to kind of get over their fears, which, kind of goes back to the title. So it's like this world needs the human dreams, but the humans kind of need this world, is kind of what they explain, or what I get out of the storyline. Along with that, this world, apparently selects a human who's able to compose stories. So the main character, is, he has not been selected yet. He's kind of like a candidate. So pretty cool storyline overall, man. Very, very high on the intellect side of things, very high imagination, really enjoy the storyline. So highly suggest if you passed up a #1, try to find it because it definitely sold out. But I think a second print is coming out. So yeah, definitely check this one out, guys. I really enjoyed this one. Fearscape #2. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.